Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, I'm KingNido, and in this video we're going to go through our top 6 Pokemon with the most eliminations in Season 1 of the PokeType League and crown our Rowan Award winner.
3, 2, 1, go!
Now before we get into the team reveal, let us know in the comments below who you think will win the Rowan Award as we go through a bit of admin, starting with how an elimination is tallied. And it is only one way, by direct elimination, meaning that a Pokemon has to land a move that causes an immediate elimination, whether that be a scratch, a hyper beam, or even an explosion. If these cause the elimination, that Pokemon gets the credit. However, passive damage does not count, meaning if a Pokemon is eliminated from the end of a Perish Song, or the poisoning of a Poison Powder, the Pokemon that set these up will not get the credit. Also, it doesn't count if they have eliminated a teammate. The next piece of admin is how we went about trying to avoid any potential ties as best as possible. Obviously, the most eliminations puts you in a higher spot, but what do we do if 2 or more Pokemon are tied? Well, the first tiebreaker will be whoever participated in less matches. This way the nod goes to the Pokemon with the better average. From there, if they've been in the same amount of matches, the second tiebreaker is determined by whichever Pokemon has scored eliminations in more matches. This is to highlight the Pokemon that showed more consistency throughout the season. But if after that we are still stuck, then the third tiebreaker will be whichever of the Pokemon has the highest elimination count in a single game. And if we are still then stuck, then we will actually be left with a tie in the tally count. So now, with that out of the way, let's get into the team. And starting things off at 6th place is Samurott, in its Unovian form of the Pastoria Cascade. Samurott comes in with 14 eliminations that it amassed over 11 matches. Fittingly enough, it actually tied with its teammate Greninja. However, Samurott was able to show its consistency with 9 games coming with eliminations over Greninja's 7 scoring games. This might actually explain why these two seemed to be eliminating each other as the season went on. Another point of consistency that Samurott was able to display is that it never scored more than 2 eliminations in a single game, but it was able to get these across 5 matches, getting single eliminations in another 4. In at 5th place is the ground type the Dunsparce. That is right, the Terrestrial draftee of the Pony Timbers was able to get a total of 15 eliminations across its 12 games, where it got 4 of these eliminations in round 17 alone in a fantastic showing against the Olivia Candy Hearts. Of its remaining 11 games, it was able to score eliminations for its side across 7 of those. Unfortunately for the Dunsparce, it is actually the last Pokemon of a 3-way tie due to it having competed in more games than its counterparts. The second Pokemon of this 3-way tie and the 4th member of this team is the incredibly impressive Forretress. This Pokemon really surprised me at first, but then it actually highlighted the ridiculous physical stats that Forretress really has, because it doesn't just shine in its defense, it has a very respectable 90 base physical attack. And it made great use of this to get 15 eliminations across 11 games, bringing it in with 1 game less than the Dunsparce, giving Forretress the better average. And of all those 11 games, none was more impressive than when Forretress was able to eliminate 4 fire types from the Motorstoke engines. Talk about not being concerned with a quad weakness. And now for the final tiebreaker Pokemon, coming in at 3rd is our second Terrestrial draftee, the Dark type Luxray. Luxray really got to flex its offensive prowess this season, being a massive asset to the Swade Grunts. And where it was able to shine above Forretress's great season is that although Forretress and Luxray played in and scored in the same number of games, Luxray was able to have 2 matches where it got 4 eliminations in round 4 and round 7 against both the Pony Timbers and the Fuchsia Royal Gators respectively, which is great for the Swade Grunts as they look to face the Gators again in week 1 of the Championship Series. Our runner-up in the Rowan Award is the Arrowquill Decidueye. Decidueye got its season off to a brilliant start, getting 4 eliminations for the Hearthome Spectres in round 1 against the Pastoria Cascade. Decidueye would continue to amass another 12 eliminations over the season, contributing greatly to the Spectres' massive haunt over the season. And on top of that, it is the only Pokemon in this list to compete in only 10 games, scoring in 9 of its outings. Unfortunately though, it would fall short. Before we get to our number 1 Pokemon with the most eliminations, I wanted to give out a few mentions. I would have given a dishonorable mention if anyone didn't get an elimination this season, but fortunately everybody was able to get one. However, that does not excuse Gallade from being the only Pokemon to get one elimination all season. It will want to lift if it is back for Season 2. I would also like to mention Iron Thorns because although it only got 7 eliminations, 5 of them were in one game against the 4-Tree Tempest, giving it the most eliminations in a single game. And now finally, the moment you have all been waiting for, our recipient of the Rowan Award is... the Steel Assassin of the Skies, Corviknight. Corviknight was able to be a ravenous force for the Olivine Carbons this season, working terrifyingly well to be the second member of that team on this list. Corviknight eliminated 17 Pokemon throughout this season, clinching it in the 19th round against the Pastoria Cascade. Along the way, Corviknight was able to eliminate in 9 of the 11 games it competed in, and its best showing was actually against the top-seeded Hearthome Spectres. No doubt it will be looking to get that opportunity again in the Victory Road series. And with that, Nidorinas, Nidorinos, this is our team of Pokemon with the most eliminations in Season 1 of the PokeType League. Look forward to seeing them team up real soon, but until then, if you liked what you saw here, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.